Hello everybody, welcome to our first post-season episode of White Line Fever Kicks, and I am going to use some stuff for long reads as well. So if you're a subscriber to long reads, then you will have already read some of this content. But our guest is it's a bit of a last-minute decision to have him on, but he's the former general manager of the WLF, the European Federation. He's a familiar name to you if you're Australian, but it's not that guy. Kevin Rudd. How are you, Kevin?
Oh, I'm great. Great to hear from you. And, still alive, still kicking, still involved with rugby league.
Now, Kevin, the reason that we've come to correspond today is because there was a story that's got a lot of traction all over rugby league in Britain. I tend to think people in Britain take a bit more interest in grassroots than people in Australia if they're rugby league fans. And the London Broncos have pretty much discontinued under 14s, under 16s, under 18s, which means their academy and scholarship programs are no more. The news leaked out late on Tuesday night. Parents were at a Zoom meeting and soon reached my ears. And subsequently, we posted a story and everyone's followed it up today. Kevin, now, do you want to tell people why this news is of significance to you because of what you're doing now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I had 5 years at the senior governance of the game and the international game, and these days I'm just a volunteer in the London circuit. So I see the grassroots right at the beginning. So primary competitions, the London schools competition, the London Junior League, London universities, and the London men's community game. So, and you see how that all links into the scholarship, the academy, and then the professional pathway. So it's been quite an interesting announcement. And then as a personal level, I helped run one of the largest community clubs in London and one of the oldest. Their origins go back to the first rugby league game that was held in London, Fulham versus Wigan, a long time ago. We were just a little bit surprised by what's going on. And obviously, I think in the scholarship and the academy program, we've had I think the current count is about 18 players in there. And a lot of them are on dual registration with their community club. And the first we hear of it is when my phone goes off the hook and I've got 18 parents contacting me because they're upset about what's happened to their son, right?
Yeah, now it sounds like the reasoning is that they've handed in Broncos have handed in their academy license because it costs them something like, to run the academy the way they do, it costs them something like £250,000, and they get no points from IMG. And the reason for that is because the RFL has its own criteria for handing out academy licenses. So it's not fair to attribute points for something that not everyone has an equal opportunity to do. So they've decided that, okay, we're way down in the Category B rankings. We want to get to the top of Category B rankings because otherwise we're going to go straight in and out next year. So this money's better spent elsewhere. We have to run a reserves team in Super League. So we're going to put all the academy kids who are up to it into reserve grade, and then we're going to cut the other teams because we just don't get any benefit materially, although they do get benefit, obviously, down the line from running these teams. So what do you think of that reasoning?
Well, there is a commercial aspect to it, but, from being at the grassroots of it and the entry stage of rugby league, whether it's primary or community, that feeds all these programs, whatever IMG are going to look for and whatever the RFL request, surely there should be some conversations going on between them that, they could have come to some sensible outcomes. And then it would be nice to include the community game that feeds all these systems. So it's a bit of a surprise to all these families and parents and all the clubs and all the volunteers across the community clubs that feed this program. We're just one of them. The financial reasons, I can hear them. But surely where there's a will, there's a way. You can come up with another performance pathway program. And I'm hoping that something comes out of this which makes sense.
Yeah, the RFL are saying that there is still a pathway, and that London are looking at other options. That they've been doing things with the South in recent months anyway, as far as pathways, and it certainly doesn't mean that kids are getting kicked out of the sport, and there's still a way for them into the professional ranks. What do you think this means for the game in the South? And then after you answer that question, you had some thoughts on the communication or lack thereof between the Broncos, the RFL, and the game in the South.
Well, it's not great because the program that has been running, it's weekly and it's quite intensive, and a lot of people have benefited. And when you look at the first team players of Broncos, and then indeed players at other clubs in Super League and the Championship, they've all come through that pathway system. So if you're removing it, then how are you going to come up with something as good? So there's a challenge there to be worked out. So that's one part. And in terms of the communications, to me it's quite simple. There is no real regional governing body for the South. And if you don't have a regional governing body with governance, responsibility and accountability, similar to if you spread the game to a new country, as I did for many years, if you've got no governance structure, then how can you have governance? And how can you have a coordinated strategy? So, and it'd be very simple to solve. All you need is the right people that lead the right different aspects of the game to meet a few times a year and talk about, well, what does good look like? Where are we aiming towards? How do we measure if we're doing good? And it's not rocket science, is it? Everybody, that runs a business or works in a business, those are just simple facts and figures, right?
Yeah. So,
and the information is available. So why isn't it happening? So I guess that's the thing that people need to look around, the people in senior management, and having 5 years of being in senior management, I know how that feels. It's not rocket science. Just needs conversations with a few people and go, right, how are we going to come together as a strategic group or a governance group for the region?
How many kids do you think will be lost to the sport as a result of this, Kevin?
I don't know. I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm always a kind of a positive character. Where there's a will, there's a way. And after setting up, representative structures in different countries, you can set up a representative structure in London. You can have regional festivals against other regions at different age groups, and you can get volunteer coaches to run that. But is that going to be as good as a week-to-week program where the players are pitting themselves against players from Leeds, Wigan, St Helens that have all the coaching resources to support the players there?
Yeah.
So there are ways of doing representative structures, and I'm hoping the conversations do start now, and people from the different parts of the game do come together, and then hopefully we get a sensible plan moving forward.
Yeah.
All I can do in my current role is welcome the lads back that have had the knockback and go, well, come on, carry on enjoying your rugby league.
Now, Kevin, I know you...
And that'll be similar to the other community clubs across London too. There are good people that try hard, volunteer their time, and really support the kids and say, come on, have a go at this game. It's a great game.
Now, Kevin, I know you wanted to stress that you're speaking about for yourself, not the club, but we haven't mentioned for anyone what the club is that you're involved in. Which club are you involved in?
Yeah, so I'm involved with a club called Elmbridge Eagles, and I think we're the last club in London left that has every age group participating in the competitions. So what I mean by that, we've got under 7s, under 9s, under 11s, under 12s, under 14s, under 16s, a development side, a men's team, and then we've got a women and girls section. So it's probably the largest membership-wide, community club. And as I hinted earlier, it goes back to 1980. There was a professional game played, and one of our coaches actually played in the kids' game beforehand, the first ever game. So we go right back to the beginning of rugby league in London.
And with losing Newcastle, losing Scholars, having the RFL not be able to afford business class airfares for players coming over from Australia, all these things are indicative. They appear to be of decline. Is it just financial decline? Is it
So Well, I think I'm ever the optimist, and I've been through ups and downs on journeys of international federations when they've gone up, they've gone down. They get a group together that really get it going, and then they qualify for World Cups, and they get the domestic competitions going, and all the rest of it. So can it be fixed? Where there's a will, there's a way, and where there's the imagination and the vision of what good looks like, and that everybody buys into, then, yeah, there is a way. Yeah. There is a way. There's always a way. There's always been a way. And that's why the game has survived that long. But, the financial situation of the game, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but, yeah, they're not good indicators. But we're not just talking about finance here. We're talking about levels of organisation.
Right. Well, thanks for joining us, Kevin. As I said, it's a story that's shocked a lot of people across the country. So you're at the coalface, as it were, without using a cliche. So it's nice to talk to you.
Listen, thanks for your time. And I just want to say, we want it to work in London. So all it takes is all the different parties and stakeholders coming together and working out what the strategy is and what good looks like and what all the different agendas are. I can understand the IMG stuff from being in governance of the game. And you've got to work together. The RFL, Broncos, community game, it can come together. Yeah. And if we can get the common strategy of what good looks like and get everyone pulling and pulling the oars in the same direction, then I think, good things could come from this.
Good on you, Kevin. Thanks a lot.
Listen, all the best. Cheers.